Tonight, a closer look on the impacts of the coronavirus in Washington state.
And footage from Governor Inslee's press conference and the virus and more. Murrow News 8 starts now.
Broadcasting studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Ariel Yakbazi.
And I'm Zach Miller. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Multiple Washington schools and Idaho schools are closed due to concerns for the coronavirus. According to Pullman Radio, the University of Idaho issued a health advisory in response to a student at Jackson High School in Western Washington being diagnosed with the virus. The student allegedly attended a jazz festival at U of I. Genesee and Troy schools also closed to COVID scares as well. The Coeur d'Alene School District sent out a message to parents and guardians regarding canceled classes. And, according to Como News, 11 schools in the Puget Sound region are closed for deep cleaning.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee said the public health lab in Shoreline is now able to test people for coronavirus. He said about 100 people can be tested daily, which is 200 tests total. Inslee said people should follow Centers for Disease Control recommendations for how to prevent disease.
Because I want to emphasize this because it might be one of the more difficult things. Stay home if you are sick. Preventing future cases will require all of us to do all of these things. And the more of these steps you take, this is what health officials call layered interventions, the better off you are. The more of things you do, the more your family does, the greater safety they will have in this situation.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee declared a state of emergency Saturday in response to COVID-19 coronavirus cases in the state. According to the governor's website, Inslee issued a proclamation Saturday directing state agencies to use state resources to do, quote, everything reasonably possible to assist affected communities responding to recovering from COVID-19 cases, end quote. 6 people have died in Washington from COVID-19 since Saturday. State Secretary of Health John Weisman said during a press conference today that there are 18 confirmed cases in the state, and all of them happened in either King or Snohomish County.
Each of us needs to take some personal responsibility. If I have a loved one in a nursing home or a hospital, I should not go visit them if I'm sick. We need to keep ill people out of our institutions where people are getting care so that they can stay healthy. And the same goes for healthcare workers who would be caring for these folks. So for those with chronic underlying conditions, older adults and people who are pregnant, make sure to pay attention to any symptoms and call your provider.
Wiseman said during the conference, you should wash your hands for as long as it takes to sing happy birthday to yourself twice. According to KHQ, the test results for the Spokane resident who allegedly displayed symptoms of the coronavirus are expected to be available Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. A Gonzaga community member is also being tested for the virus. The results are still pending.
Coming out of Cairo 7 News, 24 emergency workers in Kirkland, Washington are being monitored for the coronavirus. The city of Kirkland said in a press release that some firefighters are under quarantine as they are demonstrating flu-like symptoms. The firefighters being tested are believed to have come in contact with the virus at life care centers. Since these firefighters are off the job, the department told Cairo 7 News that they will be relying on neighboring firefighters if anything major should happen.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association announces today no changes have been made in regards to the state high school basketball tournament. A growing number of coronavirus cases in the state have caused concern about large events such as the state tournament having already affected the regional games. The tournament will still take place as scheduled with 4A and 3A schools playing in Tacoma, 2A and 1A in Yakima, and 2B and 1B in Spokane. President Kirk Schultz sent an email out this morning to WSU students to keep the line of communication open regarding the coronavirus. Murrow News 8 reporter Sophia Canton has more on the story. Joining us live from the Global Learning Department, Sophia, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Zach. I'm actually outside the IP Global Learning Department right now because this morning, WSU President Kirk Schultz sent out an email regarding the coronavirus. It also included updates on the virus, specifically about how students abroad in Italy currently are being asked to return home at this time. The email outlines the university's response to the virus and any next steps it will take if necessary, especially if it makes its way to Pullman. It also provides information about a website that it has made dedicated specifically to those daily updates on the virus. There's a link the email provides so that the students and family members are able to have access to those updates at any time. The email concludes with an email address link for students and families to use if they have any questions or concerns about the virus and how it is affecting WSU. Live in Pullman, I'm Sophia Canton with Murrow News 8. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back, what a former WSU employee was messaging a student. And how long can we expect this windy weather when Murrow News 8 returns?
Public records obtained by the Daily Evergreen show a former employee allegedly attempted to start a romantic relationship with a student. According to the Evergreen, former radio host and WSU coordinator for student and organizational development Dan Marr sent dozens of romantic text messages and requests for, quote, hugs, unquote, to a student who worked with him. He told the Daily Evergreen, quote, I made a huge mistake. The mistake was and is that I scared someone, unquote. According to the Evergreen, investigators found that the cultural differences between Marr and the student affected the way she perceived his behavior. Investigators found Marr violated Executive Policy 15, which establishes rules against discriminatory harassment, and sexual misconduct.
Let's take a look at weather for today. Today we'll have a high of 47 and a low of 48. These are about on track for what we've normally been seeing for the past couple of weeks, but something to notice is that winds will be 19 miles an hour today, so hold on to your hats when you're walking outdoors. Looking at tomorrow, these will kind of be the same, except we'll have more sun in the sky, but I know that it says sunny, but in the morning there might be a little dash of rain, and as you can see, the winds will get higher and faster tomorrow with 24-mile-an-hour winds. Coming into Pullman and on campus, watch out when you walk down some of those really windy walkways. All right, let's look at the state map for this for today. Looking over here at Pullman and Spokane, they're about the same with lows of 48 and highs of 50 and 47 degrees. Sort of similar over in the west side with Olympia and Seattle, there is a lot of rain, which is normal for this time of year, with the temperature being 49 degrees in both places. Now in Yakima and the Tri-City, it is warmer with 62 being the high and 57 being the high with clear skies all around. Now looking at the rest of this week, we have snow and a little bit of, we have sun and a little bit of clouds, but on Saturday you can see that there will be some rain and snow. So we're sort of taking us, the weather is sort of taking us through all types of weather conditions this week. And we'll get back to you guys at the desk.
According to the Spokesman Review, 2 men have been arrested on suspicion of murder in Spokane. Spokane police have arrested Lionel White and Anthony Fuerte on second-degree murder charges. Police suspect the 2 men were responsible for the death of a woman whose body was found in the Roadway Inn in North Spokane.
When we come back, WS men's basketball walks away with the Apple Cup after how many years?
And Caitlin Rappel has sports when Murrow News 8 returns.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
The men's basketball team traveled to Seattle to take on the Huskies this past Friday. This is their first time since the Cougars' 2016-17 season that they've swept the series. Washington State created a big lead in the first half, but the Huskies answered by taking the lead midway through the second. The Cougs were able to regain the lead and take it home for a final score of 78-74. Isaac Bonton, who had missed the 3 previous games due to a hip injury, scored 15 points in the final 9+ minutes, which included 8 of 11 points in a 64-second span. CJLB scored 21 points in the game and became the 3rd fastest player to reach 1,000 points in his career at Washington State. Men's baseball won their series against Rutgers 2-1. The Cougs won Friday and Saturday's games but lost Sunday morning. Sophomore pitcher Zane Mills had 10 strikeouts in Friday's game, helping the Cougs win 9-2. Saturday's game included a massive grand slam by junior Justin Van de Break that drove in 5 runs, and senior pitcher A.J. Block also had 10 strikeouts, taking the game 10-2. The Cougs lost the final game on Sunday 6-1. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Caitlin. Coming up, what presidential candidates have ended their campaign?
And how a college recruiter was fired after a racist recruiting activity when Murrow News 8 returns.
Pete Buttigieg has suspended his campaign. According to CNN, on Sunday, the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, decided to stop his campaign after realizing his path to the Democratic nomination wasn't possible. Amy Klobuchar has also suspended her presidential campaign. According to NBC News, Klobuchar suspended her campaign on Monday and will endorse former Vice President Joe Biden.
Oklahoma Christian University fired a recruiter after an alleged racist recruiting activity. Student staff from Harding Charter Preparatory School told ABC News the recruiter asked an assembly. From all of us here at Murrow News 8, thank you for watching. Good night.